know, in the movies, you know, people go through character development, and they're like taking their hero's journey, or, you know, having a character arc or whatever. You know that, you know, okay, in 2 hours time, hour and a half, 2 hours time, they're going to come out on the other side of this and be feeling better. You don't know that, you know, when you're just living your life. Fuck. Hello. I don't know what to say. I've been talking a lot in my journal about real life, like living real life, living in the real world, and kind of like not being, I think, you know, I live in my head, like I daydream a lot. It kind of replaces certain things for me that I want in my real life, but I don't have, or don't have access to at the moment. So, you know, I just go to my mind palace and just think about it, and it doesn't, I don't want to say it feels just as good as, you know, maybe actually experiencing things, but it feels nice to have control over it. And, you know, when you're living like kind of in a fantasy in your head, like your brain doesn't really know. Your brain doesn't know that well, it can't tell that well. Yeah, but I want to live in the real world. There's like some movie clip, I forget what her name is, some blonde woman. I don't know if it's Sharon Stone or a different woman, but Patricia Arquette. I think that's what it is, Patricia Arquette. In some movie she said, I just thought there would be more. I thought there would be more to life, she meant. And I kind of feel that way. You know, when I was younger, I thought there would be a lot more. I thought, you know, when I was in college, I would meet my people. That didn't really happen. I met nice people. Were they my people? I don't know. I mean, I think me living at home also kind of has dampened maybe my outside relationships, because all of them, like, they've lived together, like they're far from family, so they spend a good amount of holidays like with each other, with their friends, you know, roommates, whatever. And I'm always with my family, which is great, but also, you know, if I wasn't near my family, I probably would have, you know, maybe found a second one, or cultivated a second one, and I haven't really. That's kind of what my Substack has been about, is like feeling unreachable, feeling like I can't really connect to people the way that I want to. I was going to say that I can't connect to people in a meaningful way, but I think I can. I have connected to people, but there always has to be some kind of entrance into it. You know what I mean? It always has to be like through photography, through music, through guitar, through books and reading and stuff. It's never just like me and another person, you know? There's some middleman, some activity that serves as the middleman, as a mutual friend that makes it less awkward, and that kind of doesn't feel the best. Yeah, you know, I put myself out there. I have been. I try to. I think now it's mainly been on social media. I mean, well, that's not true. I volunteer. I mean, I've been volunteering at the church for like two years now. I go to pole. I see those girls all the time. You know, I talk to people. I'm like, hey, you want to hang out? And oh, let's do this and that and the other and whatever. But nothing really, like, I don't know, like sticks in the way that I want it to, or has the feel that I want it to have. Maybe I'm being ungrateful, because I am grateful for the connections that I've had. I felt a lot more lonely in high school and college, and, you know, I'm grateful that, you know, I've gone to concerts with people, I've hung out with people, people have invited me to, you know, different like little functions and stuff. I'm really grateful for all of that. But sometimes even like when I'm there, I feel it becomes even more apparent that I'm not connecting with people the way that I want to. Yeah, maybe other people feel the same way. Maybe other people are also like, I'm not connecting the way that I want to with other people. But it kind of feels like a singular struggle, especially like when watching from the outside. It seems like a lot of people have their kind of ride or dies, like family, people that are like family to them, friends that are like family to them, that have been there for them. Yeah. I don't know, I still kind of feel like an island unto myself, but maybe I do it to myself, as Mom says. Mom says that I do it to myself. She says that I don't like anybody, but that's not true. I do like people. And I enjoy hanging out with people. But there's always that little, I don't know, misconnect or disconnect, that I feel. And I don't know if they feel it too, if they're like, oh, I can't quite reach her. Or if it's just something that's on my end, but it's there, or it's not there. The connection isn't there. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like an island unto myself a lot of the time. But you know what? I crave socialness. I want to be social. I want to talk to people. I want to connect with people. And it makes it like all the more painful when I feel like I can't. Or can't do it in the way that like I want, or to the caliber that I want. I know that makes it sound like it's like some kind of sport or competition, and it's not. I don't know, that's just the way that I think about it. But in my journal, I really haven't been writing about, and when I say journal, I mean I read like a few, maybe like the first chapter of The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron, and she said you have to keep a journal and you have to just write. She said 3 pages. I write usually 1 page. I'll go longer if I feel like it, or like I'll write more. I'll write in the morning and then I'll write at night, and maybe there'll be like 2 pages. But at the moment I mainly just write 1 page, mostly in the morning, sometimes at night, depending on how I feel. And I feel like I've mainly been talking about like not hesitating, I guess, like not doubting myself and just doing the things that I want to do, and like cultivating a real life in the real world. I keep saying like brick by brick. Like I have to build my house brick by brick, step by step. That's come up a few times. And it's true. I can kind of like jump the gun. I'm like, okay, like I'm so far away. They say, oh, don't look at how far you have to go, look at how far you've come. And I've come really far. When I was in college, like I was in a bad way, and I'm doing a lot better now. I'm doing like a lot more things that I want to do, but I'm still not where I want to be. And a lot of the time all I can see is how much time it's going to take me to get to where I want to be. And then 6 months later, this has been like a recurring pattern since I was a kid. 6 months later, I'm like, oh, if I would have started 6 months ago, I would be in a good spot now. I mean, with pole and guitar, I've made great progress. I mean, I'm always wishing for more progress. Having high expectations of myself. But I've come a long way. It's just, I'm just not exactly where I want to be. And in the movies, people go through character development, and they're like taking their hero's journey, or having a character arc or whatever. That okay, in 2 hours time, hour and a half, 2 hours time, they're gonna come out on the other side of this and be feeling better. You don't know that, when you're just living your life. It's like it could take a year, it could take 2 years, it could take 5 years for me to do what I want to do, get to where I'm trying to go. And of course it's the journey, it's not the destination, it's the journey. But the journey can feel really lonely and really long. Yeah. Yeah, but I'm trying to just do my own thing, which is why I'm making YouTube videos, why I'm like writing on Substack and making my TikToks and trying to put myself out there, whatever. Just like do the things that I've always like had in mind to do, and they don't go away. That's why I've kind of finally started like acting on things and like trying to stay consistent with things, because it never goes away. It always comes back, and I'm like, oh, the same idea I had 3 years ago, 5 years ago. Same thing I wanted to do, I want to do now. It never goes away. So I'm like, I need to just try to do what I can. Step out on faith is what church people might say. Step out on faith and just kind of do what I need to do, and just hope that it gets me to where believe that it'll get me to where I'm trying to go. Where am I trying to go? I don't really know. I don't really know. It's hard to know. But I'm happy with where my life is right now. I think I'm doing well for myself. I'm working, I'm exercising, I'm being creative, I'm connecting with people, I'm going to concerts, I'm enjoying myself. But there's always more to want. And I'm trying not to want so much, not to desire so much, but it's so hard. So hard. Yeah. Anyway, I think that's all I have to say for now. My train of thought has gone, but I wonder if anyone feels the same way, and if you do, let me know, so I don't feel so alone. That's selfish, but also to unburden yourself. That's from like a show, The Path. I loved that show. They only had like 2 seasons, I think, on Hulu, 2 or 3, I forget. With what's his name from Hannibal? He's on Law and Order now. Not Mads Mikkelsen, the other guy. I never watched it, so I don't know what his character's name was. And then Michelle Monaghan. I loved that show. That was a good show. I watched it in high school. That was a long time ago. And they used to like say like, unburden yourself. You like, it was a cult, first of all. It was a cult, and they would have you like go in a room, and like they'd record you, and like you'd have like some kind of guide there, and you like you basically, it's a confession, and you're like saying all the bad things you've done, and they called it unburdening. I guess this is kind of my unburdening, my Substack and my journal, all methods of unburdening myself. Yeah, and last thing I'll say on that note of kind of unburdening, another reason why I'm like just like acting on the things I want to do, and I said this like a while ago when I was in college to myself, if I leave ideas in my head, they rot in there and they make me sick. I know that sounds a little bit crazy, but it's kind of true. They do ideas that that I wanted to act on, and that I don't. They really just sit in there and make me sick, with anxiety, with worry, with self-doubt, all kinds of things. Yeah, but we're trying to get away from that, doing everything we can. Yeah, anyway, this is my my Digicam. I made another video before. That was more of a video for myself. So I got this Digicam from Goodwill like a while ago. But it always had like a battery problem. Like right now the battery thing is flashing, but it's been flashing for the entirety of this, the time I've been recording. But it hasn't like shut off yet. So I didn't want to use it because of that. But I found a video this morning of this British guy, and he was like, yeah, you just bend the little battery thing, because the problem is that the batteries, like they're opposite. So you got the positive node up on one and then the negative node up on one, and so the connector thingy is hitting the positive node first, and it's like not having a good connection with the negative node, because the positive one is higher, it's like the little nub, and you're just like supposed to bend the connector thing to make it connect better. And it worked earlier, but I took the SD card out to watch a video I had made earlier today, and and kind of messed it up because the card and the batteries are still in the same place. But it seems like the low battery warning doesn't really, like, it hasn't shut off in 20 minutes that it's been on. So I guess it doesn't really impede the function of the camera. And if it ever does, I can just pull out my tweezers and pull the thing back. Yeah, it's just like really finicky. But anyway, lots of things in life are really finicky. I'm overexposed right now. Yeah, I did my makeup. Can you tell? Wasn't I talking about it in the beginning? Or maybe I might cut that part out. Maybe that's why I didn't. Anyway, whatever. Video over.